I called you or wrote to you and asked you, could we do a Philip Levine project? And you said sure, but you'd rather not set Philip Levine.
Didn't I say no?
I think you said yes, but no. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I said yes because I really wanted to work with you, but I also said that I had some concerns about it because I don't really like to set poetry.
And why is that?
Well, the first reason is because I really love poetry. And I feel like one of the things that poets do is they already take into consideration all the things that I add. So they pay attention to pacing, they pay attention to rhythm, they're doing a lot of things that I do.
Yeah.
So what happens is that you either fight against it or you follow it. If you fight against it, it feels really willful. If you follow it, sometimes it feels like what you're doing is kind of like a cartoon illustration of it.
Yeah.
And I always feel uncomfortable sort of violating someone else's wishes. One of the interesting things about Philip Levine's poetry is that it is very personal. It's about him, his background, his opinions, his feelings, and there's a way in which there has to be room for me to think about myself, but also there has to be room for you, so that it's not just me thinking about me or him thinking about him.
Me, the audience.
You, the audience.
Me, the listener.
You, the listener. It has to be one of my jobs as a composer is to figure out how to take these experiences and make them community-oriented, to make them something that allows people to think about themselves as a group sitting there listening, or how they are in their lives. It can't just be about me illustrating my feelings or me illustrating someone else's feelings. There's something larger than that. I had this idea a long time ago that one of the things you could do with a piece of music in a concert is dedicate a certain amount of time not to making people do things or feel things or manipulate them in any way, but to just use that time to give them permission to hear something and have that hearing of that thing affect the way they thought about themselves. So another problem that I found with the Philip Levine, which I think is a problem for poetry in general, but also is a particular problem with this poet, is that it really pays attention to the flow of ideas. It really is about this sort of muscular, heavy, working class delivery.
He talks all the time about the combination of like the steel sound and the industrial sound, and then this huge discovery of jazz, which set him in motion.
You feel it. You feel this sort of heaviness and improvisation in the text. So there's a way in which, as a job as a composer, what are you doing? Are you taking what's there and setting it in gold and diamonds?
Yeah.
Or
worshiping
are you worshiping it? Or
right.
what are you doing? Or are you actually supposed to look deeper into the intention of the poet, into the world that the poet's trying to conjure up, figure out what's that incredibly powerful under message, and set that free? So in a way, what I was trying to do was figure out what's the message behind these, what's the world that made these things happen, that I could access, that I could universalize, so that I could do something that's true to the world of the poet and the world of the poetry, without actually just saying, okay, well, my job is to just take this world which is already perfect and buff it and set it in a diamond setting. And
right.
In a way, I feel like what I did, even though it has nothing to do with the text,
right.
It's true to my attempt to get to the true meaning of what those texts are about.